Welcome to ATV TV. I'm Darren Dance here at Flemington with Brian Johnson. And Brian, it's a beautiful morning in Melbourne. We've just come down to watch Firehouse Rock have a trial with David Hayes. What time did you have to get out of bed?
We had quarter to 5, Darren. That's what you'll be in a racehorse saying before, so you can get out of bed at 5 a.m. in the morning, drive to Melbourne and watch your horse trial just okay.
Well, let's just get this straight. So you got home from the nightclub at 4 a.m.
4 a.m, yep.
Had half an hour's sleep, jumped in the car.
I didn't have any sleep, Darren. I just had a quick shower, and here I am back into it again.
Quick shower, and got down here for this morning's trial. Beautiful day at Flemington. We're up in the box in the centre of the track, and we had a look at Firehouse Rock have a little gallop around. First time in this preparation. Stevie Baster rode him. He was quite happy with him actually, and gave us a good report. Anyway, we'll come back next Thursday and watch him again.
We will. Same time, same bat channel.
Exciting.
Oh, it is exciting, Darren.
Well, let's go back through last week's runners and results. We go back, wind the clock back to Thursday, Brian. If you remember back that far, we were down at Geelong and we had Chloe Anna run fourth. I know Darren Weir was not happy with the ride on Dean Yendall. He said it should have run second. 6 wide the trip, but still battled on for fourth. Yeah,
probably good effort when you take all those into consideration, Darren, and like to fly in the wall when Darren was speaking to Dean.
I wouldn't have been. Anyway, and then on Saturday we fronted up. I went across to Morfordville to watch the mighty mare Platelet in the Irwin Stakes. She looked the winner 200 out, Brian, but just got run down by Gay Waterhouse's good horse, and she's on track for the Sangster.
Yeah, second up, I suppose I wouldn't say forgive, it was a pretty good run, and the horse that beat us pretty smart too.
And you done your day?
I did do my day. At 50 metres, I was thinking in a bit of trouble here.
In a bit of trouble?
In a bit of trouble.
Don't lose faith on Platelet. No. They're all saying what a tough race the Sangster is, but she'll come on from that race and she'll be very competitive back there in a couple of weeks. Down at Caulfield, Liz went down to watch Tayu and Shiny Buttons go around in the 2,000 metre race for a bit of a lead up towards the Stall Cup. Tayu, wide the whole way. Too aggressive, the young fella, the road. He knew that, he said that when he got off. And subsequently, we sent the horse to the paddock. I just walked past Jamie Mott on the way back through the tunnel, Brian, and he said, he can't win without me. I said, well, if you could ride 54, you could have won on him.
What did he say then?
He said, nothing. Shiny Buttons, disappointing. Jumped out, sat back, stayed there, did nothing. Jockey got off, said nothing. What do you make of that?
Nothing to say.
Nothing to say. You know what Michelle Payne texted me?
What's he say, Darren?
I'm glad I'm on it on Sunday.
No. Soft hands of Michelle probably could do the job, Darren, on Sunday.
And then we had Lethal Arrow, Brian, going around at Bendigo, and it was a pretty poor run. He jumped out, sat outside the leader, which was not the plan, pulled his head off, and went disgracefully. And our trip to Wagga must now be in doubt.
Unless you forgive one bad run, Darren.
Well, we scoped him, we vetted him, we couldn't find nothing wrong, so we'll put him in another race, and he's now going to have to win that race, Brian, if we're to go to Wagga. It's a long way to go, and we need to be in winning form. And then on Sunday, we ventured down to Terang, Brian, with 4 runners. It was a long day. We're in races 1, 3, 7 and 8, and that is a long day. I didn't see you there.
No, I was actually hard at work, Darren, on Sunday at home. I was putting up some fences and doing a lot of manual labour, which I don't normally do. So that's why I wasn't there, Darren.
Well, it's a shame, Brian, because you missed a good day, Terang Cup Day. Flying Paris in the first race, having her first start. She's a beautiful looking filly by Testarossa. She's going to make a magnificent 3-year-old. She had the nice run there, got beat a few lengths. Alan and Zara won the race, and that's a horse to follow. They said it's the best 2-year-old they've got in the stable, and it'll go straight to Melbourne for a group race. So there's a big plus. Our horse, picked her up yesterday, she's in the paddock, she'll have 6 weeks off, and then we'll line her up for the spring. We then went off to race 3 with Listo Gitano, probably running his best race to the corner, and for some reason Dean Yendall decided to go up the rail, Brian, for a run. And guess what happened?
He got blocked.
There was no run. And guess what happened? He ran 10th.
So Darren had another word to say to Dean, did he?
Luckily Weary wasn't there, and luckily I was on the other side of the fence.
Well, Dean doesn't get it wrong very often. He's a pretty good jockey.
I think he had a bad week, Dean. I think he had a really bad week. Anyway, then later on we had Lucky on barefoot in. First up, just tuning up for Warrnambool. Went around, didn't do a lot. He'll be in on Warrnambool Cup Day, and he looks like he's in for another good preparation.
Yeah, he loves the second up too, and he always runs well at Warrnambool, so especially if the rain comes. Which I don't really want the rain to come, but probably we do when lucky on barefoot racing. And then you go away again.
And our fourth runner, Brian, we had to wait for the last for Gen Y. She was coming off a last start win as this ute nearly runs us over as he goes flying past.
Unless it was a mute, so you couldn't hear it.
Farrier, see, what do you expect from a farrier? They spend all day bending over, hitting steel.
Didn't they?
Anyway, Gen Y, yeah, she raced tractably, but she just didn't find anything in the straight. And look, you got to walk away being disappointed with that because she won last start. And Darren said we'll try her again in a couple of weeks with blinkers on, but she may well be ready for a spell.
Well, she may, Darren, and I think some of the ATB owners are only ready for a spell after their big week of racing, but we're back up again this week with another heap of races.
We've got to start again, Brian. Where do we go first?
Why ATB? Why not?
We're with Barry Stokes, a prominent owner with ATB Bloodstock, and Barry just down in Melbourne to see the fastest rock cob go.
Yeah, well, I bred him, so I had to be here.
In a few horses with Darren Dance and
Too many.
Liz. Too many? How did you rope into so many?
Well, Darren and I go back to the days when he was with Mark Riley. Once he branched out, I think I don't know, had a lot of horses with him. Still got probably 5. I think there's 4 or 5 fillies that are all in stages of preparation, so haven't really raced yet. The others are ones I own outright. So
what sort of horses you look for when you get involved with Darren? What kind of horses are you after when you decide to buy one?
My thing is to buy good fillies with good pedigrees that I can breed from later on, and that's basically what I'm looking for. Unfortunately, a couple of those fillies we've had weren't much chop, so they go by the wayside.
Well, luckily for my son and myself, you had Bird of Fire, which sent to Fastnet Rock, and that's how we got Firehouse Rock here today.
Yeah, and she's back in foal to Fastnet Rock at the moment, and looking forward to later on in the year. And we want Rocky to win a few races. And
I think he's still got a fair bit to learn. He's a November foal too.
He's a November foal, so he's behind the 8 ball a little bit. But no, he looked terrific this morning.
Yeah, it'd be remiss of me to ask. I get people asking me. I need to ask you, why ATB?
Why ATB? Oh, Darren does things probably better than anyone else in the game, from what I can see. No, he does that all the time. Like even this morning, I got here a little bit late, and he told me the horse had already trialled and ran last.
You said the same thing to me too.
Yeah. So, but no, Darren does things very well, you couldn't be happy if you had a horse with him. You couldn't be happy with the way it is presented.
Anything wrong with Darren? He's a Hawthorn supporter, Barry. That's about it.
That's true. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks very much for your time, Barry.
No problem.
Thanks for sharing the reason why ATB.
Yep, ATB, the way to go.
Why ATB? Why not?
Righto, Darren, we're going to Stall Cup Day on Sunday at Donald.
We are going to Donald. Don't go to Stall. The grass is dead.
Yeah, apparently a bit of sabotage work up there, unfortunate for the club, especially with such a big race day.
So we're on to Donald.
We are, and first up we've got Chloe Anna.
Chloe Anna, yep. Look, she should have run second last week. Darren's stepping her straight up to the 1600. She's a staying type mare, and there's still some chance she may get to Adelaide to the Oaks. So she will need to be winning on Sunday.
Intravenous
hasn't raced for a month. Won her first start at Donald on this track. Was going to go to Sandown, had a little foot abscess. Then we're going to send her up somewhere else, Seymour, and they called them off. So now she goes back to Donald, the seam of her crime, 1 for 1. She'll make it 2 for 2.
Oh, it's nice to hear, Darren. And Shiny Buttons, we heard earlier with Michelle Payne on board. Can she get the job done?
Well, Stall Cup for Shiny Buttons. He's on a Warrnambool Cup program, so he needs to win a Stall Cup to be any chance in a Warrnambool Cup. So Michelle Payne goes back on. I think the Donald track's going to suit her better than really what Stall would have with that big straight. So I give Shiny Buttons a top chance. He's fit now and he's ready to go. And with Michelle Payne back on, he's a great each-way chance.
Now, Darren, we go to Caulfield on Monday. We have a couple of fillies going around. Princess Hussey.
Yeah, that's the big Easter Monday meeting, Brian. So Princess Hussey, a little bit unlucky the other day at Sandown. She's on the quick backup and she's up to this grade, and I think she'll run top 3.
And Stylish Lily goes around a little bit later.
First up, this mare, she's yet to miss a place in her first preparation. This is the second preparation. I've watched her trial a couple of times. She's been very impressive, and Darren Weir wouldn't be taking her to Caulfield on a Monday just for a day out. She's a big chance.
It's great to hear, Darren. And we've got the big in Costa del Lago gelding going around in Sydney, the Basso.
The Chris Waller trained at Basso, yes, the last start winner there. He goes around on Monday as well, and you'd think with everything in his favour, the race doesn't look over strong. He's got to be a good chance to make it back to back.
It's an exciting win last start too, wasn't it? To be good
Come from last, wide, and just put them away.
It'd be great.
Put them away like Hawthorn puts Collingwood away.
Well, he probably once every 9 or 10 years, but let's talk about the races. Don't know about the football, even though Collingwood did have a win last week and they're back on track.
Well, you got some sort of hat on today. I don't know what it is. LFC.
Liverpool, mate. Liverpool.
Oh, put that on. The sun glare is terrible.
Like Collingwood, they're one of the most hated clubs in their competition, but they're 4 wins away from winning a title, Darren. Could be the double this year, Liverpool and Collingwood.
Every week you've got a different hat. How many hats have you got?
Well, I just noticed Liverpool won on the weekend and they're going 4 wins away from the title, so I'm on board, Darren.
Well, there you go, listeners. That just proves one point. Never ask a Collingwood supporter a question, because you just won't get an answer. Now, Brian, I'm really petrified about asking you any questions without notice. So this is a rehearsed question.
All right.
Who's your best bet for the week?
Intravenous, Darren.
2 for 2.
On Sunday to make it 2 for 2.
All right, plateless little sister. Can she go for 2 for 2? I'm going to stick with the Basso. I liked his run last time, and I thought he's going really, really well. So I'll go a Basso, and I think even Falago might be running on Wednesday, Brian, first up again on his way to the Queensland Derby.
Well, that'd be interesting to see, Darren. Nice type. Probably be suited up in Queensland.
Very exciting times ahead, I think, for ATB over the next month or two with Adelaide. And
Speaking about exciting, Darren, I'm getting it all off.
Oh no. Zoom out. We need a wider shot.
Getting it all off. Dean Elliott messaged me last night and said tonight, or probably on Friday, you can't actually bet on Friday, but you can get a special offer off Dean Elliott. He's going to send out an email. We're going to send out all the owners on Friday night with an amazing special offer for all their owners.
And what's that?
I can't say it. It's hush hush.
You can't say.
I can't say, but send a bet. Make sure you've got an account, because you're going to have an offer too good to refuse.
All right, so if you've got a Centrebet account or you haven't got a Centrebet account, stay tuned for this special offer that Centrebet are making to all ATB clients for this week only.
Exactly. It'll be sent out on Friday night, Darren. Or you'll be sending it out. So
I'll be sending it.
I'll get you to send it out, yep.
And is there any other news around the traps, Brian?
Nothing, Darren. No news whatsoever. It's all covered.
Well, we've got 6 tickets for Flemington coming up at a meeting in June or July that we're going to actually auction, Brian, on ATB TV live. So we've got 6 tickets, Brian, for lunch at Flemington at a meeting in June or July, and we're going to auction that off, and the proceeds will go to Cystic Fibrosis, the charity that Harry Coffey supports. And given that Harry's been riding winners for us, why not support that great cause?
It's a wonderful, wonderful idea, Darren. So how do we get involved?
We'll tell you next week on ATB TV.
All right.
I'm Darren Dance. I think he's Brian Johnson. Until next week, happy Easter.